Hello and welcome to another Guardians of Wilt-Shire video. I'm your host Dewi, and this is going to be my recap of 2017. I'm getting some hobbying done. It is currently New Year's Eve. This will go out hopefully New Year's Day. And I'm just going to talk through about tournaments in the year. Eventually, once I finish these 40 odd guys, I will show you what I've painted this year on like kind of a mass board. But I just thought, as it's New Year's Eve and there's my glue, I've just got to finish these guys' bases off. It's literally just putting some flock on it. I thought I'd talk to you as well. So where should we start? We'll start on tournaments. I tried to go to a few more tournaments this year. Between me and Luke, we managed to get to 3, I think it was. I definitely went to 3. I can't think of any more. If I have, I'm really sorry that I missed it and that I've forgotten about it. So we'll start with Into the West, which is obviously in Cardiff, on the 28th and 29th of January, earlier this year. It's a long time ago. And I took my fiefdoms list, if you can remember. Which was Imrahil, horse and lance, 2 knights of Dalamoth with horse and lance, 3 knights on foot, 7 men at arms, all with pikes. And then it was Dwin here, 3 knights on foot, 3 men at arms, and 3 Blackroot Vale archers. And is a very similar list to what I took the previous year, 2016. With the exception that I took 2 less Blackroots, if I'm correct, and an extra 2 men at arms. Just because I had the points allowing, and it made me hit 450 on the dot rather than 448. Performed relatively well at the tournament, I thought. The army is good, apart from when Imrahil dies, and then it starts to fall apart a little bit. So I was happy with that, and there was 20 players there, and my final position was 11th. Quite happy with that. Always a good tournament. Already got my ticket booked for this coming January, so in about 3 weeks, no, 4 weeks from now. And Firestorm is where I started really getting back into the hobby, so it's got a little soft spot for me. Lovely venue, lovely city, all in all, good tournament. My next tournament was about 6 months later. By this point, me and Luke had started really trying to get some content out on this channel. It's slowed up recently. Hopefully we'll try and get more. It might be more tournament content this coming year, because we've got quite a few tournaments lined up, and we want to try and be a little bit competitive in the GBHL. So the next one was, if I just scroll down, was a Merry Gathering in Cheltenham, which you will have seen a hobby vlog for, journey vlog for. I'm pretty sure I did a journey vlog for all the tournaments this year. And that was run by Mel Mascarenhas of Cheltenham, and that was a 500-point tournament. That was the one I decided to take my Galadrim to. So it was essentially Rumill, Haldir, and a Stormcaller with various elves of various guises. So after that brief interruption, the girlfriend woke up. Yeah, the Galadrim were there we are. The Galadrim was kind of like thirds with Elven Blade and Shield, thirds with Spear, some of them were shielded as well, and a third was Elf Bow, and then I had a banner in there with all the gear, Spear and Shield. So that was a relatively good tournament. It didn't start off too well. I had some good games and some bad games, if I remember correctly. Some games which just didn't go great. Another game where I slaughtered 2 eagles in the first 2 turns. So yeah, all in all, relatively successful tournament. I ended up finishing 7th. Yeah, 7th out of 20, which I was happy with. It could have been better. Practice games, I was doing so much better. Just didn't seem to get it. But both of those tournaments finished above Luke, so there's a little bit of a rivalry going on there. And in that one, I finished 1 place above Luke. And our new pseudo host kind of person who's been on the channel a little bit more recently, Mr. Clubley, he finished only 2 places. Well, yeah, 2 places below Luke. And as we've got to know all 3 of us, we're amazed that I've never played Luke at a tournament, I've never played David at a tournament, and David's never played Luke at a tournament, especially on the Southern Leagues, even those. So we're thinking it might happen relatively soon. Oh, let's not drop him in the flock. I'll move on to the final tournament of the year that I went to, which was a Final Fate, or the Final Fate of the Witch King, which was in Cheltenham again, run by Mel again, and this was in October. So another couple of months between tournaments. That will all change come the new year. I'll explain in a bit, but we've got big plans. So that tournament, there was 18 players, and I took my Mahood, which I'd been painting up since about August, I think it was. Good few months, well, good couple of months working on them. I can't remember if I did anything in between. I think I did the Witch King in between, which was quite handy, as you'll soon find out. And that was a great tournament. For me, as if you've followed the channel, you will know. I started off with a loss to Ben Camp, and then didn't concede another VP through the whole tournament, which I am still astounded with. Absolutely amazed that I managed that, and I ended up winning, beating Sam Harper in the final, to which I then received the Best Painted Army Award in a weird scenario where I had more seconds than the guy in first, than Scott Whitefoot, who had the most firsts, but the amount of seconds I had meant I won Best Painted, which was a little bit bizarre, and I won the Tauriel dagger letter opener, which is really cool. I have all my awards kind of behind my models in my room. I've got 5 awards now, I think. Let me just run through. 2 from Cheltenham, the 2 from the first Into the West Tournament 2016. I got runner-up Best Painted and Most Sporting, and then I also have the Ardacon Moria and Angmar faction winner award. So really happy with all of that. So yeah, that's a proud place in my model cabinet. That was a really fun tournament, and I really enjoyed the competitive side of it when it got near the end. Trying to think and trying to be really kind of proactive rather than reactive. Very tense final game. The first time I've ever been involved in a kind of near top table clash, and really happy that I managed to come out and do well. And I loved playing with my Mahood. They're really good to play with, really quite strong, especially with the Throne of Skulls army bonus, because that was in use. That was really good, really good. And happy with my maiden tournament victory. So I'll talk to you a bit about kind of what I've got lined up coming up. Me, Luke, and Dave Clubley are all have all got the same tournaments lined up at the moment. I work with David, and obviously I've gamed with Luke for many years now. Let's get some more glue. So firstly, which is why I'm preparing these guys here, which you'll see in a bit, we are all off to the Scouring of Cheshire, which I cannot wait for. With my old job, I couldn't really get to weekend tournaments without using substantial amounts of my holiday. But with my new job, I have weekends off, so it's going to be great fun. I'm just finishing off some of these Moranons for going up there. So yeah, we're going up to the Scouring of Cheshire on the 13th and 14th of January, I want to say. However, that might be wrong. Give me 2 seconds. It is the 13th and 14th of January. So we're heading up on the Friday night, or Friday afternoon. We're staying in the Premier Inn just around the corner. And I've met Steve before. I haven't seen any of his work in the flesh as in terrain, but I cannot wait to play on the boards. Just absolutely amazed. This year I'm kind of going to be more competitive at GBHL events because I have the opportunity to get to more. In the past, because I could only get to a few, I generally took competitive, well, themed, but not walkover armies. So like the Mahud is all one, the fiefdoms, the Galadrim. I'm not a chopping and changing, dropping in shades here and there. I'm very much a lore person. Try and, if you can justify it, then fine. But if not, then no, not really. So yeah, I will run through kind of nearer the time, or on the hobby blog, will kind of show you what army I'm taking. I might give you a kind of an army showcase of what is going to what tournament. And then the next tournament we've got lined up. So bearing in mind, this year I had at least 4 months between tournaments. I have a tournament 2 weeks later. And it's back to Cardiff, back to Into the West. Really, really, really looking forward to that one. I'm going to take something slightly different. I'm currently waiting for an order to arrive so I can actually complete it, and I hope it does before, well, within the next week, because I'm going to have to paint them up. And I'm going to be taking an Angmar force, but including Burda, because he's just so cool. I wanted him for a long time, because as you would have seen my Angmar force on a few bat reps, and if you met me at Ardacon 2016, then I had an Angmar force. Sorry to anyone who hated it. It was Angmar, but it was Shade, Drummer Fell Beast, that kind of thing. So I'm going to be taking that and seeing how that fares. That's again 450 points as they normally are. Cardiff don't change their points values really, especially Into the West. And they always have sneaky objectives, and it just makes it all a little bit confusing. But great fun nonetheless. And then we've got the GT at Warhammer World lined up. I've never been to Warhammer World. I don't think Luke has. We are very, very excited, to say the least. Very, very excited. It's just, I've wanted to go there for quite a while. Never really had the time or whatever. And if I was going to go, it was going to go to a tournament. I wouldn't drive to Nottingham because it's about 4 hours from here. Just to go to Warhammer World for the day. But we are super excited about that. Super, excited about that. And the order I put in, some will have seen on Facebook. Um, the elves are for my good force. Yeah, so the elves are for my good GT force. Um, don't know if I already mentioned because the camera's just kind of cut out. I'm planning on getting a new camera, um, actual camera recorder, because this is just a digital camera, so we can only record 10.5 minute clips, something like that, which is why you see a lot of cuts on our videos. I'm looking at getting an actual camera recorder. I've done a bit of research into some of them, and looking to get one of those. So that's kind of the GT forces, the good forces, elves. Kind of a mix of Galadrim and Wood Elves, if I'm going with the list I currently want to take. All depends on time and painting speed, etc. So then I have, what is this? Oh yeah, we're going to Ardacon. Super excited about that. We loved 2016. It was a bit tiring, but we loved it. And Club Leader said if it's less tiring and just as fun. So I cannot wait. Cannot wait. I think David's booked the room. Not entirely sure. I need to double check that with him. But overall, looking forward to a very, very, very productive 2018. I will come and show you all the 200 on the dot models I've painted this year in a bit, and talk to you about what kind of my objectives for this year were. Actually, no, I might as well do that now. My painting objectives for this year were to paint 6 to 8 armies. That was the kind of overall aim. You can fudge it to have that. By armies, I mean 30 odd troops. Actual kind of points lists, not all hero lists. But I am going to count the White Council as a hero, as an army, because they are in of itself. But like my 3 hunters, I wouldn't call an army. So that's kind of what I aimed for this year. If you can remember correctly, then I've come close. I think I've done about 5. What have we done? I've done my fiefdoms, I've done my Easterlings, so that's 2, the Galadrim, the White Council. They were really good fun to paint, and that's where I had a bit of a lull painting wise this year, around June and July. Then my Mahud. So what was that? Fiefdoms, Easterlings, Galadrim, White Council, Mahud. And then these guys are nearly, well, there is an army here. I just need to do the heroes. So yeah, I can safely say I'm pretty much just about hit my target. And then I painted other models in between. So next year, I don't know if people have seen on Facebook, but I got Smaug for Christmas, and that is a task for next year. I'm going to wait till kind of after the GT and get an airbrush and do them properly, and try and make them as good as I possibly can. So that's one of my targets for this year. Then another one is I've got lots of kind of the old box sets, so the Battle of Khazad-dûm, Escape from Orthanc, Attack at Weathertop, I want to get Ambush Amon Hen, the original Fellowship, In Clutches of Shelob, Death of Gothmog, Final Fate Witch King. I've got all of those, and I'm looking to make kind of little dioramas and paint them hopefully higher than my tabletop standard. I am really happy with my tabletop standard, and I can. These 12 Maranons I bashed out in 2 days, but that was spending probably a good 3 or 4 hours on them each day. My aim is to kind of get a little bit quicker, and the aim is to do 12 models every 2 weeks, which I know is slightly pushing it, but that's kind of my kind of goal. I'm looking at, you would have seen in the hobby vlog, looking at kind of breaking up the monotony, so having like 2 armies on the go at a time, painting 6 warriors of one, 6 warriors of another, and then kind of moving around that way. Another aim, so yeah, Smaug is one. I've got pretty much all my painting lined up in January and February already. I've got to get certain things done for certain tournaments, which I've already spoken about. Then one aim is to get a Corsair army painted. Another is to complete my fiefdoms, all the Dol Amroth and all the actual fiefdoms guys. Got loads of them. I think they'll look incredible once they're all done. That'll be quite a mammoth task. And another one is finish my Mahud. So the 3 armies I'd really like to get done this year is Corsairs, to take to a southern event. I haven't seen a Corsair army. I like taking things that people haven't seen. I'm quite happy to go out and get the models, even if they're a little bit expensive. So that'll be one. Yeah, finish my fiefdoms and finish my Mahud. So then I can have like 1,000 points of Mahud and 1,000 points of fiefdoms. And complete Thorin's Company and Champions of Erebor. So kind of I've got a fair bit lined up. A lot of them are kind of single model at a time armies, just because I want to have a finished Thorin's Company, a finished Champions of Erebor. I have half the set, so I need to buy some more. Oh, another tournament I have lined up that I've just remembered is the ETC. I am part of Team Glaurung, which is Wales Team 1, and I've got an idea of the list I want to take. We're currently all talking lists. We have been for the last month. That'll be really, really good. Again, that's in Cardiff. Cannot wait for that. So yeah, lots going on. But I'll stop talking, and I will go and show you all the models that I have completed this year, because I've got about 5 more to base here, and then they are all done. And so these are all the models I've painted this year. There is 200 of them exactly. Here there is 207, because I've included the rebased Blackroot Vale Archers there. So I'll just give you a quick recap if people have forgotten kind of what I painted this year. So it started with the fiefdoms, with Imrahil and his Swan Knights, and the Men of Dol Amroth, and obviously rebasing the Blackroot Vale Archers, like I've just said, and Dwyn here. After that, I think I moved on to these guys here. So it was Gandalf the Grey, Gandalf the White, Legolas and Aragorn, all foot and mounted, and they're all in there. That's a lie, I think it was just Gandalf the White. I did Gandalf the Grey foot mounted with Beorn at the back, and he was after the Easterlings, which are all here, in their splendour. This is if I'm correct. Following that, I did my Galadrim force, which is all these guys up here. There's 36 warriors, plus plus the banner, and then the 3 heroes at the front. Followed by the White Council, which is there, and my Radagast and Glorfindel conversions. Followed by that, I moved on and completed the Witch King, which is in his splendour there, with the one on foot just to the left of the banner. Then I moved on to my Mahud, which I'm not sure if everyone's seen completed. You can see I've done all the wall paint on them now. They're all looking, I'm really happy with those. And then if we swing all the way over, complete 6 Warriors of Erebor, just a little test, really like them, going to try and complete an Army of Thor at some point. And then lastly, things you will have seen me working on recently are the Black Numenorians in front, and the Moranon Orcs, which I finished whilst filming this. You saw in the first part of the video. So this is my 200 models that I've painted this year, and looking at them now, I am really happy with everything. There's not one that I would change. Happy with the conversions that I've done, like the repositioning of all the Dol Amroth Knights, the just the chopping and the placement of all the shields on the Gladrim Warriors. Really happy with my Radagast conversion. Glorfindel was a more simple one. Bayon I twisted and moved a little bit. The Mahud, to make them all different, especially my Tribes Master, I'm extremely happy with all of them and how they come out. And the Maranons, when I get the other 24 shield guys painted up, I think will look excellent. Really happy with them. I like the kind of slightly vivid red that pops up, and the banner is one of my favourite banner models out there. Simple conversion with a Black Numenorian banner, but all in all, very happy with my year's production. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please comment, like, share and subscribe. I'd love to see how well everyone else has got on this year. And most of all, Happy New Year.